Join us this week. We are going to cover one of our favorite topics, stupid things people do with their money.
It's my favorite.
That's our favorite section. And of course, we'll cover oil, deal, no deal in the Strait of Hormuz, and potential bargains.
Deep value.
Deep value. That's why you want to tune in and subscribe, because we're going to describe what deep value is and what trades may be lining up between now and the end of the year for our managed accounts. Welcome to the June 29th, 2026 Advanced Report from McGowan Group Wealth Management clients. Glad you've tuned in. And this week, Alex, I love this topic.
Stupid things people do with their money.
Boy, howdy. This is the rundown on stupid things people do with their money. It's one of the reasons you want to subscribe to our YouTube, because we've issued warnings in the past, and when people are way overpaying for stuff and all excited about it, well, that fits the category, stupid things people do with their money.
So in 2021, I went to this fancy dinner, all these ex-hedge fund guys and private equity guys talking about Bitcoin and how Bitcoin was going to supplant the dollar as the world currency.
And there's only going to be 21 million of them.
And there's only 21 million of them, so you better go get them while you can. Well, that's not working out so much. Michael Saylor was one of the kingpins of promoting the Bitcoin Treasury Company.
Okay, let me hand it back to you after I frame this. I was doing the market report on Friday for the stations, and I didn't have anything exciting, so I'm looking, trading economics, boom! Bitcoin falls below 60,000 for the first time in 2 years.
Yep.
And that's down from over 120,000 just in October. Ouch.
So this is kind of a lesson for just anybody that does investments, right? If you're borrowing a lot of money, what could possibly go wrong? So Michael Saylor at MicroStrategy, or Strategy as it's called now, decided that he wasn't only going to do a Bitcoin Treasury Company, he was going to borrow a bunch of money so he could buy more Bitcoin.
Brilliant. And see, look at this impact. I mean, he goes from $100 to 500.
Yeah.
Lickety split in 2024. And he's going to borrow money, going to sell more shares, buy up all the Bitcoin.
He actually had a yield calculation. So if I sell the stock here and I buy a Bitcoin here, then net we have this yield built in, even though we're selling more stock on top of you. What's interesting about this is today, priced under $86 a share.
From a high of 543.
Yeah, so that big run up in 2024 coincided with his announcement that he was going to do the Bitcoin Treasury, and now it's below where they started.
All right, so this is about 37 billion still, right?
Yeah.
So he's taken over 100 billion and turned it into 37 or less. At what point, if Bitcoin goes below what price, does this completely evaporate?
He's getting close. I think it's under 50,000 a Bitcoin. Things start getting shaky. One of the things
it's already shaky. Painful. In the house of pain.
But we talked about this in the 1920s. All these companies came out and said, well, we're in a bull market. We're going to create a trust, and we're going to borrow half the money, and then we're going to buy twice as much shares. Well, when the price comes down and crosses that threshold, the companies are worthless.
Oh, ouch. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a big danger here for them.
And we had warned when everybody was piling into this thing that this is just a leverage bet.
Yep.
And you have the cost of debt. That says not good. So let's move to another stupid thing, in our opinion, right? Yeah. It's not a recommendation until you come down and get a plan. But it's more important that your wealth manager's looking out for you, because crypto was making it into all the portfolios. All the wealth managers were like, hey, we're gonna do a Bitcoin fund or a cryptocurrency fund. A lot of private equity was there. people were piling in. So at the peak, it was 4 trillion, over 4 trillion, like 4.3 trillion
Yeah.
in all the cryptos. Now it's 2.07 trillion.
They even
So 2
came
trillion's
out.
been wiped
Yeah,
out.
they even came out with a certification for advisors for crypto.
Oh, I know who did. I would get those emails.
Yeah.
That I needed a certification in crypto. And I thought, how about I just start looking for things that'll actually pay me income, right? Here's another stupid thing people do with their money, all right? And this,
Cerebras, part of the AI ecosystem, right?
yes.
Comes public, doubles immediately on the opening print.
Yeah, that's this right here.
Yep.
Okay. Then, well, it was 185. Then it goes to 370.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The company's still worth 37 billion. So at 370, it's about 75 billion dollars. How much earnings?
Well, it says right there, it says a minus dollar. Minus a
Minus
dollar.
$1 a share. So people are paying 37 billion for a company that has never made money.
And they have 193 million in revenue.
Whoa, 150 times revenue, and it loses money.
Okay, what
But
could possibly go wrong?
It's got AI in the name,
That's true.
right? So it's AI inference. Ooh,
That's fancy.
I would infer that somebody's going to be really disappointed. That's my AI inference. I don't even need Gemini to help me with that one.
Yeah.
There is room for disappointment.
That's
all
right.
SpaceX, right? Well, we just wanted to cover, it could go up from here, but I just want to cover this opening frenzy. So this is a 10-minute chart since they came public,
Right.
on the 12th. And about right here, people just couldn't stand it. I mean, just couldn't stand it. And we were telling clients, hey, if you want it, wait, right? Because there's this bottleneck, like Cerebras doubled on the first day, and it's never been back there since. It's 173 instead of 370. But we go back to SpaceX, it hits 220 per share, and that's about $2.5 trillion.
That's right.
And how much in sales do they have?
Not much.
About 20 billion. How much are they making?
Nothing. They're losing
Current
money.
annualized loss is about $8 billion a year. Now, Starlink makes money.
Yeah.
I would like some Starlink.
Maybe a
but
spin-off comes when
at
this
the right
thing,
price.
the spin-offs start coming when this thing isn't working anymore.
Well, 2 trillion is a little pricey. That's 100 times sales. And as a group, those companies have a net loss
Yeah.
over their history. Now, Tesla had a wild ride, right?
It did. It
And
did.
if they merge it with Tesla, I don't know what you're going to have then. But anyway, here's another stupid thing people do with their money, in my opinion, right? This could turn out just fine. We had a nuclear company, thanks to Sir Alex.
Thank you.
They make the nuclear reactors for the ships and the subs, right?
Yep.
Wow, that's a triple.
Yeah.
And it was just a stodgy old blue chip, happens to make the best small modular reactors, because my evidence is that you don't hear about submarine
Right.
accidents
Nuclear failures.
or
That's
aircraft
right.
carrier nuclear failure. They seem to work really good. Now, that company worth about 20 billion. This company, Oklo, have they ever made a small modular reactor?
No, they haven't. So
Okay, they're worth 9 billion. The peak right up here was 30 billion dollars.
That's yeah. This has been a crazy ride. I think it goes back to where it started. We saw this in the whole space. Small modular reactors were going to be the wave of the future. They're going to be building them like crazy, and
And we don't have any yet.
we don't have any yet. I think by 2029,
Yeah.
maybe we start having our first ones turn on. There's just a huge, long time to get these things done. I would not be surprised to see this under $10 again.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking less.
Okay.
But anyway, they're going to lose money again this year, and no sales. All right. Here's oil. So switching gears from stupid things people do with their money. We've done a lot of videos on Epic Fury since it began February 28th. And every time we hit the send button, it's usually been rendered incorrect.
It's changed.
So here's part of what we're seeing. I call it deal, no deal.
That's right.
Right? Are the Iranians ever going to stick to an agreement? Probably not. Is their military capability being degraded? Yes. Are they mapping what to take out the next time that they pop off?
Yeah.
Like they did, they signed the agreement and then they popped off. But oil below $70.
That's right.
Great news for the economy, great news for inflation. And the oil companies, you would think, okay, oil's down, then the companies aren't going to do well. But actually at this price, you got break-even wellhead, in the Permian at $30, $35, even sometimes less. So you've got to refill 1 billion barrels worth of storage.
That's going to take a while.
This was great news on the inflation front. Probably means you won't get that weird discussion about a rate hike. That probably goes away.
Well, I think the discussion now is rate cuts.
Yep. Now the energy infrastructure gets to refill 1 billion barrels worth of storage. And Strait of Hormuz, is it open or closed? It depends on which IRGC guy is in charge next week, I guess. But anyway, this was good news. Leads to the NASDAQ 15% year to date.
Yeah, it's done well.
And of course, everything's all about the memory and the AI data center build out. So we're going to cover a couple of the winners,
Okay.
right? And how they were identifiable before the big run. Then we're going to cover what we're looking at for the fourth quarter. Why the fourth quarter?
Tax loss selling.
Right. When do you do your tax loss selling? Right now, because if you own something and the market's bouncing around new highs and you're not up, you better go back and examine your premise.
Right.
And unless you have a really good reason, it's probably you want to book your tax losses in the middle of the year at new highs instead of waiting. Right?
Particularly if you have some gains that you've harvested. So you want to make sure that your tax situation is net neutral. You sell some of you losers, you can always come back to it in 30 to 60 days without a wash sale.
And so far, that's right. You could come back later.
Yeah.
I'll show you a couple that are identifiable, deep, high-tech, deep value.
Okay.
Which sounds like a misnomer because usually, tech is way overpriced to growth.
Yeah.
But here, last year, this was like carrying around a boat anchor. This is Dell Technologies, right? Round Rock, Texas-based Dell. Michael Dell knows how to build stuff because he used to build PCs in his dorm room
yeah.
and ship them out. He did a mail order back in the day.
That's right.
Back before you even had a cell phone. Or if you did, it was like a backpack cell phone.
He probably had a backpack cell phone.
But, it was 12 times earnings last year.
Yeah.
And
I
the
remember
earnings
that.
started to accelerate because Michael Dell knows how to do data centers and put stuff together.
That's right.
There's an expertise there. So this spike, that's a wow. Looks like maybe time to take a little profit. Not a recommendation for your portfolio to come down and get a plan, but another deep value, and you taught me this, all right? So you came in and said, Micron.
That's right.
Well, in the investment committee, we debate these things. And I'm like, well, look at the spike it's already had. And you said, well, look at this. If they make $50, then we're paying less than 10 times.
Yep.
Well, now they're making 25 a quarter. It was a 12-fold increase in profits over last year. So now you're saying, well, it looks like it's about 10 times earnings still. That's a wow. And okay,
it is.
But now they're very cyclical. So when the data center build out calls into question, then you get to lose half.
That's right. Right. So if you're on this train, you want to take the tree and the fruit harvest strategy. to heed, right?
Well, just let us do it for you.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're here for. Now, here's what and if you want your plan upgraded, just go to networthradio.com. There's a questionnaire right there. You could start the process, come down to the Crescent, our galactic headquarters here, meet the team that cares, financial services professionals, unparalleled expertise. Everyone on the team is smarter in at least 2 areas than I am.
Celebrating 40 years in business, by the way.
It's my birthday this weekend.
And it's your birthday. Happy
And
birthday.
40 years. We've had continuous relationships with families 40 years.
Yeah.
They meant a lot. They did really well.
They did well. Now we're
Sometimes-
taking care of the
Sometimes things went down, but we've protected and grown, and
next generation.
it was good. So I put in here some sleepers. Deep value tech. I would wait until tax loss selling. All right? But if you go to the numbers, that looks like IBM could be a value, and you get their quantum expertise for free, basically.
Yeah, the quantum piece could be very exciting for IBM.
That's a minus 12 year to date.
Yeah,
And so software and some tech companies are just getting taken to the woodshed. So it's not a bull market for everybody.
not at all.
But I am liking more and more tactical safety at this point. So tax loss selling now, and things that aren't working, and put it over into safety.
What do we have next? Adobe. Okay.
PDF.
I've been watching this thing for 6 or 7 months because 6 or 7 months ago you could have made the argument it was cheap, but it was so steep, the decline, that you would literally be catching the falling knife. So
42.5% down.
yeah,
I guess the thesis is AI is going to replace the PDF technology. I don't know.
PDF and Photoshop and all the other
Image
add-ins.
creation,
Yeah.
right? So the numbers underlying, they still continue to have pretty good growth.
They are growing still. And they have pieces of their platform that are AI enabled. They have their own suite of AI tools. So I think at the end of the day, you're going to find some of these things that AI is a force multiplier for them. And they'll still be able to grow and probably provide cheaper pricing to the end users, but margins stay intact or even grow.
There's a term, embedded, right? Adobe's already embedded in our system and others.
Right.
Salesforce already embedded in most major corporations. Does this get replaced with AI? Because 40% decline so far this year, and the growth still keeps coming.
Yeah.
So at some point, wow.
I don't think AI is going to be lost on these types of companies. I think they're going to embrace it and put it to use inside their systems to bring more value to end customers. And I've had the questions like, okay, if my data is in there, and it's like, well, you don't need it. Well, where do I put my data?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I'm not going to hand it to Gemini because they'll sell it to somebody.
They'll use it.
That's the tough part. And we're working on upgrading our financial planning software, but it's got to be so security tight for confidentiality. You researched Hazel AI,
Yeah.
and turns out they get to keep all the client data. Yeah,
Well,
we're not doing that.
The first thing on their terms of service was, because they advertise, hey, we don't share your data or whatever. And the terms of service, the first thing it says is, oh yeah, your data be shared. Like, what? That's not cool.
Client confidentiality is big. McGowan Group Wealth Management, a team of 9 dedicated to your success. You're the one, you want to have us on your side, and you really want to get us on your side before you pass away, because we're very good at estate planning and we can help you evolve that process. It's summer planning season. We hope to see you on a Zoom call or here in the office. Thank you for tuning in today to Net Worth Media. We also have Apple Podcast. Simply type in Net Worth Radio and boom, it'll hit your phone right then. If you also go to networthradio.com on a browser, You're going to be able to meet the team. You could see our performance track record, the model portfolios that go with today's broadcast. Also at networthradio.com, the longer play podcast is available there as well. We're grateful that you've tuned in. Remember, when we talk about a security, it doesn't make it a recommendation for your portfolio until we actually complete a written plan for you by Zoom or in office or simply a conference call. So reach us at networthradio.com if you want to get that arranged. Market fluctuations and how to handle them. We build high cash flow portfolios, and past performance doesn't guarantee future results, so you do have to be ready for challenging markets. We can build more cash flow during challenging markets than we can when everybody's happy and everything's up, which is when we tend to raise tactical safety. Those allocation strategies are here at networthradio.com. Thank you for tuning in.